Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene. You guys are watching Lubed. This is season 3, episode 51. Finally, a goal. Holy cow. 64 games in, Connor Brown finally scores a goal. And it wasn't a pretty one by any means, but he finally tallied a goal. So we can wipe off the Tobias Ryder thing because he now has surpassed Tobias Ryder. Oh, man. I can't believe it took him this long, but whatever. Hopefully, he'll go into the trajectory of starting to be an absolute playoff stud for us. Wouldn't that be just amazing? Wishful thinking, but amazing. So we're going to talk about the Oilers and Caps game where the Oilers absolutely destroyed the Washington Capitals. Washington, wow, that's another team just like Pittsburgh, kind of a shadow of their yesteryears, and I don't know what's going to go on there, if we're going to see maybe Ovi on the move eventually or whatnot. I don't know. Right now, Washington is struggling. I know they're still within range of making the playoffs, but my gut is saying that they won't make the playoffs this year. So, yeah, back in the day, it was always Pittsburgh and Washington. Pittsburgh usually got the better of them. It's going to be a bit of a different playoff here. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Corey Perry has settled with the Chicago Blackhawks on whatever happened, and we're going to get into that a little bit. We're going to look at the Western Conference, and I also have a poll question. It's going to be regarding Connor Brown, and it's actually up on my YouTube community page right now. And then we're going to talk about the first of 3 matches between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers that takes place on Saturday night. It's the heavyweight tilt, man. This is what we've been waiting for, so this should be a good one. And then if you guys have any comments, feel free to join. By the way, I'd like to also welcome my new subscribers. I hope that I am delivering content that you bring. I'm willing to listen to suggestions and whatnot. But yeah, welcome aboard and enjoy the ride. And because right now I am still small as far as subscriber goes, there's a good chance that your questions will be answered by me. So take that for a good note. Anyway, guys, let's dive into the Oilers and Caps game that took place yesterday. An absolute slaughter as the Washington Capitals lose 7-2. And Connor Brown scores a goal in this game, and we're going to get into that. Wow. I don't know what to say. It looked like it could get interesting in the first period after the Oilers took a 2-0 lead and then let it dissipate, and it became a 2-2 game. However, the Oilers kept on rolling. Zach Hyman getting his 5th career shutout, not shutout, he's not a goalie, hat trick, getting his 5th career hat trick, 4 of which took place this season with the Oilers, which is crazy to think. Like, this guy is on a tear. He's going to hit 50, right? He is. Like, come on. He's got to hit 50. So anyway, let's dive into the scoring summary. Now, I changed up the scoring summary here as I'm actually going to be posting it on my little bottom ticker here. So let's get into that. Let's start off with the very first goal. And it was Leon Draisaitl at 4:36 of the first period on the power play from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And Connor McDavid, his 80th assist, 1-0 Edmonton. A good start for the Oilers. Can't complain. They would make it 2-0 at 6:50. Connor McDavid, his 25th goal. It's kind of surprising to think that Connor McDavid only has 25 goals at this point in time in the season, but that's just the way it is. He's been more of a playmaker this year, which I can't complain. And then we also went through that bad beginning of October, November. So, I'll never dispute Connor McDavid because the guy is an absolute stud for us. I would never, ever complain. That was by Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl. 2-0 Edmonton. Cue the comeback. Washington Capitals would get within one at 8:30. This would be Ivan Miroshenko. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. His second, unassisted, 2-1. And then Washington would tie it up. And then I'm a little concerned as Connor McMichael would get his 13th of the year on the power play from Alex Ovechkin and Max Pacioretty. I wonder how many Connors are actually in the league. Like it just seems like it's Connor this, Connor that, Connor this. But anyway, yeah, Connor McMichael would get his 13th, and it's 2-2 tied in the first period. The first period, I believe, would still carry on, yes, as Zach Hyman would get his 44th of the year, assisted from Connor McDavid and Brett Kulak. You think Zach Hyman kind of decided to come to Edmonton because there's a guy named Connor McDavid on this team? I think that was highly a probable thing. Before the first period, now we go into the second period where Zach Hyman would get his 45th. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 4-2 Edmonton, and this is where Edmonton starts taking the pace and starting to control the game. And you can see Washington is just starting to let up a little bit. You can feel the change of the momentum definitely swinging towards the Edmonton Oilers at this point. And then it becomes 5-2 Edmonton when Zach Hyman gets his I think this was the hat-trick goal, is it not? Or did I miss one? Anyway, 1908 on the power play, his 46. Yes, this would be the hat-trick because he had 44, 45, and 46. From Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl, it is 5-2. Then it'd become 6-2 from Warren Fogle and Ryan McLeod and Leon Draisaitl assisting on this. This is at the third period. 10:43, and then it happens. You're not witnessing an error on the screen. At the 11-minute mark, Connor Brown gets his first Edmonton Oilers goal in game 64 of the season from Evander Kane and Adam Henry. Unbelievable, man. Couldn't believe it. It's good for him. The fan base were throwing hats on the ice like it was a hat trick. So good for him. I am hoping that this wakes just the monkey's off his back, the pressure's off. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit more relaxed and playing some really effective offensive hockey for us. That would make it 7-2, and that would be your final. The shots on goal, 37-25 for the Edmonton Oilers. When it comes to the hits on opponent, Capitals out-hitting us. Now, this is a stat that, now that I've been tracking these stats on a daily basis, I start seeing consistencies. Oilers are not a tough team. They gotta start banging bodies around. We need Kane to start banging down, Carriage to start banging bodies. Maybe bring up Adam Ernie, but we need some body. We need some wear, especially when you go into the playoffs. You need to wear down your opponents. At the same time, you can't wear yourself down. But we'll see what happens here. But they definitely got to start banging bodies a lot more. Face-off win percentage, 58.2 for the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers power play, 3 for 4. Woo! 3 for 4. Their power play has been brutal, let's be honest. And last night, they had a 75% power play. Or was it last night? No, it would be Wednesday night. Sorry, 75% power play. Yeah, I'm not complaining. And their penalty kill was pretty good as well, as they were 75% on that, stopping 3 for 4. They allowed 1 Washington power play goal, but in a 7-2 win, I'm not going to be that critical about it. Block shots, 13-11 for the Capitals. When it comes to the takeaways, 16-10 for Capitals. Okay, when it comes to the Stars, giveaways, 17-8 for Capitals. Now I think it's the Stars. All right, I'm jumping ahead of myself. And I'm going to actually give a 4th star in this one. I know I'm breaking tradition here, but I can't honestly give Connor Brown a star in the top 3. I just can't do it. But he has to get some acknowledgement for the long-awaited first goal. Again, game 64, he finally gets his first Oiler goal. Now to get into the legit 3 stars, let's go with Connor McDavid. 1 goal, 2 assists. He's kind of at the back of the bus, which kind of surprises me. It's not too often. But there were some players that I thought were of note. And one of them is Leon Draisaitl, 1 goal, 3 assists. And finally, our first star of this one, Zach Hyman, with his 5th career hat trick. Again, 4 as an Edmonton Oiler. I think he had 1 as a Toronto Maple Leaf, or 1 last year. I'm not even sure where all of them came from, but I do know that 4 of them came this season alone, which is crazy to think. Yeah, Zach, wow. Best free agent signing Holland definitely did. 100% best one. And we're also hearing that Jack Campbell's starting to come around, so we'll see if we have another goalie option should one of our goalies go down or struggle a little bit in the playoffs, but that's a story for another day. So up next, Colorado Avalanche, tomorrow night, Hockey Night in Canada, 1 of 3. The first time they meet this season, this is the heavyweight tilt. This is the Tyson Riddick Bowe or whatever big fight was way back in the day. This is the heavyweight tilt in the NHL. Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche. I'm pumped to see it. I'm going to be excited to see it, and I'm hoping it will be favorable for the Edmonton Oilers. All right, we have to move on, though. That game was amazing. It was amazing to see Connor Brown do what he did, finally getting off the snide. But we do have to move on, and there is word that the Chicago Blackhawks and Corey Perry have come to an agreement and a settlement regarding his contract termination that happened earlier this year, which led to him becoming an Edmonton Oiler. Now, I don't know exactly. I'm not going to pretend I know what happened. I don't really know. I just, like you guys, reading up information, trying to get as much as I can of what happened. One thing with 100% certainty, it did not involve another player's family, another player's mother. So I'm not going to get into that. That was wish-wash. That was some really shitty rumors, to be honest with you. But there was a column written by John Scott, who now works for ESPN. You may remember John Scott. He was the enforcer that, due to all-star voting, managed to get himself voted into the all-star game back some, I don't know, what was it, 6-7 years ago? I can't even remember. Maybe it was 10 years ago. However, he does work for ESPN, and he did write an article, and whether this is true or not, that it involved that potentially Corey Perry was, and he's openly admitted that it was an alcohol-related incident that happened, and it sounded like he might have said something inappropriate to another ESPN, a female ESPN reporter. I don't know exactly what it was. That was his take on it. I read that up. I hear other things that involved another teammate, that there was an altercation with another teammate as they were flying to different cities. I don't know exactly what happened, What it looks like to me, and this is just, I'm just saying it, what it looks like to me, okay? This is nothing that I have any proof or anything like that. But because of the incident with Kyle Beach and the Chicago Blackhawks were definitely in a position of not taking any risks, any chances, anything. So he was a victim of circumstances somewhat, if I'm reading the situation correct. Now, again, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't think it has been clearly discussed of what exactly happened. Maybe one day we will find out the truth. But there's probably gag orders on the whole legal thing. Anyway, to say the least, the settlement has been settled by both the NHLPA, the player, the organization of the Chicago Blackhawks, and the NHL. So that is a done deal. He is no longer attached to the Chicago Blackhawks in any way, and maybe now he can get his mind focused on being the Edmonton Oilers and helping us win a Stanley Cup this year, which would be great. Let's take a look at the Western Conference as it's starting to shape up now. And it is forever moving, but right now we're starting to get a pretty good idea of where things are lining up. As you can see, Colorado Avalanche lead the Central Division with 89 points. Dallas Stars tied, however, have one game extra than the Avalanche. That's why they're in second. Winnipeg Jets is 87. So it's very tight at the top three there. There's a little bit more gap between the Pacific Division teams as Vancouver is running away with the season with 92 points, 83 points for the Edmonton Oilers, and 77 points for the Los Angeles Kings. Your current wild cards are the Nashville Predators with 80 points and 77 points for the Golden Knights. And then, guys, I have to be honest with you. Going down forward, I don't think any of these teams are going to make it, as Minnesota is, 4 points back with a game, also with an extra game played. St. Louis is like 6 points back, and then you got Calgary at 69, Seattle at 68, Arizona. And officially, the Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks are officially out of it. So later on in the episode, I'm going to give you my pairings for the Western Conference of who is playing who if the playoffs were to start today. There has been some movement, but not much. It's mostly just who's got home ice advantage, essentially. That being said, I do have another poll question for you guys. And it does involve Connor Brown. And the question is, and this is up on my YouTube community page, so feel free to go and vote there. Now that Connor Brown has removed the monkey off his back, scoring his first Oiler goal, do you think he can regain his confidence and actually be a threat in the postseason? I'd love to hear from you guys on this. Again, this is on my YouTube community page. So, yeah, it would be nice to hear from you guys. Other than that, let's move on to the game between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. As this is the marquee game for the night, I think. This is two heavyweights. This is McKinnon versus McDavid. So it should be one hell of a game. I'm looking so forward to it. Let's get into this one here, and we'll get through some of the stats here. As far as the teams go when it comes to, I'm going to go through the whole head-to-head situation here. Comes to goals, Colorado's first in the league, averaging 3.72. Oilers are fourth in the league with 3.55. Shots on goal, Colorado is eighth in the league. Edmonton is second in the league with 33.6. The power play, the Avalanche are tied for sixth, averaging 24.9%. The Oilers are in third with 26.7. I'm surprised the Oilers are still that high. Like their power play has slipped this year, but they're still in there. Face-off win percentage, Colorado's not exactly good on the dot, tied for 23rd. The Oilers are tied for sixth. Shooting percentage, The Avs are tied for 4th. The Oilers are tied for 9th at 10.6. Some of the defensive stats. When it comes to goals allowed, the Colorado Avalanche, 14th in the league. They're averaging about 3 goals a game. So defensively, they're a little bit weaker than the Edmonton Oilers, as the Oilers are 9th, averaging 2.83. Shots on goal, they are 12th in the league, averaging 29.5 shots per game. The Oilers are tied for 4th, averaging 28.5. Penalty minutes, Colorado is 20th in the league. The Oilers are 23rd in the league. And the penalty kill, the Avs are pretty good on the kill, 9th in the league at 81.9. Probably helps when you have a guy named Connor or Kyle McCarr. Sorry. I was like, I'm not saying that name right. I know it. Kyle McCarr. He's a pretty good defenseman. And then Oilers are 14th in the league at 79.8. Going into this game, the Avalanche have a record of 42, 20, and 5. The Edmonton Oilers 40, 21, and 3. As far as the goaltenders, it looks like Alexander Georgiev is going to be in for the Avs with a record of 34, 15, and 3, 285 goals against average, and a 901 save percentage with 2 shutouts. Stuart Skinner is probably going to be behind the pipes for the Oil with a record of 30, 13, and 3, 257 goals against average, and a 907 save percentage with 2 shutouts as well. The last time they met, it's been a while, April 11th, 2023. So almost a year to the date was the last time they met. About maybe 2 or 3 weeks off of it. But yeah, the Edmonton Oilers won 2-1 in a very tight matchup. Again, this is a game going to be on Hockey Night in Canada. It should be a blast. Can't wait to watch this. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to be in for a treat tomorrow night, guys. All right, let's go to your comments if you have any. If not, I'll just ramble on a little bit more and move on to the game tomorrow. As the Edmonton Oilers will take on the Avs tomorrow night. Again, looking forward to it. Okay, let's see if you guys have any comments. So here is the playoff alignment. I'll get into that in a bit, but let's see if you have any comments here. No comments tonight. Okay, so as you can see, as of the 15th, again, this is one of those ones that still shocks me. Vancouver Canucks have home ice on against the Vegas Golden Knights. I never thought at the beginning of the year I would be saying that, but they are number one in the Western Conference. And Vegas is hanging in there by a thread. I think they're going to make it. They're going to play the Canucks. It's going to be good, man. That'll be a good series, actually. Colorado looks like they're going to take on Nashville. Dallas and Winnipeg would be a hell of a series, too. And, of course, Edmonton and LA always is a marquee matchup. So that's where we're looking at. I hate to say it. St. Louis, Minnesota, Seattle, and Calgary. I just don't see them making it in this year. But stranger things have happened, and we will see. All right, guys. Again, I just want to show my great appreciation to the new subscribers who have joined. Please spread the word if you think my channel is of something that is good content and that you think your buddies would like. Those of you who have been with me through thick and thin since I started 3 years ago when I was actually manually editing and I wasn't live, thank you for sticking around. I know I went through some tough times with graphics and all that kind of stuff, but I've always been focused on trying to improve this channel, and I'm going to improve it more and more. Anytime I get an idea, I will go with it. But yeah, I guess that's it for me tonight, guys. As the Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche, tomorrow night, Make sure you're watching, guys. It should be a blast. I'm out of here, guys. We will see you next time.